What's up, YouTube? It is your boy JB, and I am back with a review for How to Get Away with Murder Season 6, Episode 10, titled We're Not Getting Away with It. You guys, I'm so happy that the show is back, but at the same time, it's bittersweet because now we only have 5 more episodes left of How to Get Away with Murder. It's been an incredible ride coming to the end. I'm going to miss the show once it ends, but we still got, like I said, 5 more episodes to talk about. So without further ado, let's go ahead and just jump into this episode review. All right, you guys. So you know how to get away with murder is. We stay in the present, we go in the past. Present, past, present, past. So for this first half, we're going to talk about the events that happened leading up to Asher's murder. So it was 10 hours earlier. So we saw Asher when he arrived at Bonnie's place. And when he got to Bonnie's place, you guys remember he had the blood all on his shirt. And Bonnie's asking him, like, what's going on? And you guys remember, boom, he got hit in the back of the head with the poker. He got hit in the back of the head with the poker by Oliver because you remember, this is when he revealed to them that he was the mole. So, he's telling Bonnie at this point that the others have turned on him. They were on the mushrooms. Laurel called, and, Laurel said that she is not the rat, that, Tegan was also the one who helped her to, kind of get away. So he just feels like everybody is losing their mind. But he also thinks that, he says, Laurel could be the mole, but then also Tegan could be the mole as well. And then, we saw in this scene that, he was still being his rat self. He was recording this whole conversation with Bonnie. So Bonnie went in the kitchen. She called Frank on the phone. She's telling Frank that, Asher's here. And, I believe he is the mole. So then, she tells Asher, sit down. Because she told Asher to sit down. She's going to go make him some tea. So then she goes back in there where Asher is. And Asher asks her, who was she on the phone with? She tells him that she was on the phone with Frank and she's having Frank come over to take him home. So then he says, you know what, I'm not going to the graduation. She says, no, you need to go to the graduation because that will look so suspicious to the FBI if you don't go. And then, she tells him, but when you go home with Frank, do not tell Frank that it was, don't tell him anything about this whole Laurel situation and the fact that Tegan is the one that helped Laurel get away. So it's like, okay, got you. So, Frank comes in and he takes Asher home. So then we see Frank and Asher on his way taking Asher home. They're just talking about this whole situation again, like he did with Bonnie. And, he's talking about, well, could Annalise possibly be the mole? Or, he's just trying to figure out who, in his mind, the mole is. And, Frank is like, you know what, you're on mushrooms, it's messing with your brain. So, he gets home, and, Asher's like, okay, well, I can get out and walk upstairs. And Frank was like, no. Let me help you upstairs. I'm like, oh, Frank, don't kill him. So then, Frank goes inside. He walks him to the door. Asher goes inside. So Frank follows him behind him. He says, you know what, I got to take a piss. So then Frank goes into the bathroom. He starts looking around the bathroom. Now, he went up under the, like the cabinet, and he lifted a piece of the wood. I don't know if he found something under there or what, but he comes back out. Well, before he came out, Asher was, messing with his phone, and Frank startled him. He asked him, so were you expecting a phone call? And nope, Asher continues to once again lie. And he's talking about, how all this is just a big, big mess. How he needs a hug. So, he gives Frank a hug. And, he tells Frank that, he's been there for him. He realizes Frank is a good guy. I'm like, did Frank kill Asher? So that's going to be the burning question for the next 5 episodes, I'm pretty sure. Who killed Asher? Good way to end. I guess that's a good way to end the story, huh? So then we do also see that Asher is listening to the recording, and in a fit of rage, Asher takes his phone and chunks it and just completely shatters the face of his phone. So no footage. So then we do see Asher, and he goes to New West's place to ask New West to use his phone. He's like, what? He says it's an emergency, and I'll pay you $64,000. He has a check in his hand, And then we kind of flash back to the present and we see New West on his computer with that $64,000 check that Asher gave to him. So I'm like, questions that need a lot of answers to them. Now let's just jump into the present, you guys. All right, you guys. So now let's jump to the present. So you guys remember when when the first half of this season ended, Annalise had left, on that chartered plane that Solomon got for her with this new identity. So we see her and she's at this nasty looking ass hotel, motel, whatever you want to call it. So we see her. She's taking her wig. She took her wig off, taking her, her lashes off, her makeup off. She's taking everything off. Took her cap off of, from her wig, undid her braids. And Elise is going al natural. So also we see that Michaela and Connor are being arrested for Asher's, murder. So we see Oliver. Oliver is with the cops and he's trying to tell them like, I got footage to prove that my husband and Michaela didn't do anything. But while Oliver trying to prove this, the footage has been deleted. And he's like, the Castillos, they have this telecom stuff and they can delete this. Case in point. So then the cops tell Michaela and Connor both that they have, actually they were telling Michaela that they have a dead informant and they have a murder weapon with her fingerprints on it, which was, the chimney poker. So my girl Annalise. So it looks like she's in Mexico. I don't know what part of Mexico she's in. And she looked a little broke down and janky, sorry to say it. And she gets a text from someone to meet at a cafe. So then we see Frank and Bonnie. So Frank and Bonnie are over at Annalise's place checking it out. And, they come to the conclusion that Annalise has basically dipped out of town on them. So, Bonnie gets a call from Oliver asking, where is Annalise? And, he tells her, Asher is dead and that Connor's, Asher is dead. And that Michaela and Connor, are arrested. And then Connor's mom shows up. And, we also saw that, they showed Connor the photo of a dead Asher. And, Connor started hyperventilating. And then his mom was trying to see him. And so she goes off on Oliver talking about, stand up and be a man. I'm like, well, shut up. Don't say that. Oliver is a wimp. I said it. So then, they check Connor out. They say Connor just had a panic attack. Connor's like, that was not, I've had panic attacks before. That was not a panic attack. I need to go to the hospital. And they're like, nope, you're not going to the hospital. So then we see that Frank, he came down to get Oliver. And as Frank is trying to take Oliver's dumb ass out, he runs up to him, I did it. I killed him. I'm like, you big dumbass. What the fuck was that? Okay. I thought that was stupid as shit. So then, Frank is telling Bonnie that, hold on. Oh, Frank tells Bonnie what happened. And then, she's talking to Tegan. She's in Tegan's office. And so Tegan comes into the office. And Tegan is telling her that she feels like Annalise needs to file a defamation suit against the FBI in this whole case that's going on against her. And, that's when Bonnie tells Tegan what's going on about the fact that Asher is dead and that they have Connor and Michaela and, they have Connor and Michaela. So then we see the FBI and they're questioning New West about this whole situation with Asher. Because it's kind of strange that Asher is dead right there by y'all's door. And, the fact that you called us, asking us about Annalise's involvement with Sam, and then someone that is, closely involved with Annalise, who's also an FBI informant, is now dead. How does that look? And if, New West is like, I know how it looks, but I'm innocent. I promise you that I'm innocent. Do y'all believe that New West is innocent? Let me know that question, and we'll discuss it. All right, so Bonnie, she was still with Tegan, and she was explaining to Tegan about Michaela and Connor. Like I said before, that they were arrested for Asher's murder, but they didn't do it. And then she also tells her that Annalise is gone. So Bonnie is questioning Tegan. Did you help Annalise leave? Because I know you helped Laurel leave. And Tegan is like, no, I did not help Annalise leave, but yes, I did help Laurel leave. And she explained why she helped Laurel leave. The reason that she helped Laurel leave is because Laurel blackmailed Tegan because you guys remember Tegan was the informant against Jorge Castillo. So Laurel blackmailed her with that, saying that if she didn't help her, she was gonna tell her dad that she was the rat that turned him in. Oh, that Laurel, can't stand her. Damn, I can't stand that damn Laurel. Okay. So then we see Frank. So Frank went down to the jail and he's talking to Connor's mom. And, he says, she's blaming herself for this whole situation with Oliver. He's like, nah, don't blame yourself for Oliver being the martyr. He's like, I was trying to come down here, trying to fix that situation, but unfortunately he did what he did. So he tells her that, the I forgot what you call her, but Tegan is coming down there from Kaplan and Gold to help out. She's like, first of all, Connor's dad called him a lawyer. Number two, that woman is closely related to that other woman that is in, and he was like, what woman? Annalise. This is all because of Annalise. All this stuff that is going on is because of Annalise. I'm like, unfortunately, you might think it's because of Annalise, but it's really because of your son and his dumbass friends. So yeah, don't blame my girl, Annalise, okay? Don't try me, Pam. Because don't try me, Pam. So then Tegan shows up to where Michaela is. And she's just talking to Michaela and, trying to, she's telling her where Asher was murdered at and that the murder weapon was found beside him. So Michaela is all up in her feelings because Tegan did not tell her about the situation with Laurel. And Tegan was like, well, that wasn't my secret to tell. And if you want to be mad at anybody, you need to be mad at Laurel. That's who you need to be mad at. And I'm like, exactly, Tegan. We all should be mad at Laurel. Hell, I am mad at Laurel. Laurel and her family has caused a lot of this bullshit. A lot of this. Actually, her family's caused all this bullshit. Actually, her family literally has caused all this crap that's happened. Um. All right. So then, so Connor, he's in his interrogation room. He's talking to himself about, well, they don't have this, they don't have that, And then Oliver is in his room. He's freaking out as well. Bonnie goes into the room. She tells him, you got a bail hearing in 2 hours. What I need for you to do is sign this paper saying that I am your attorney. So, so Oliver is telling her that, I had the gloves on. I did hit Asher. Shut up. But she said, but then Bonnie says, but you're not the one that killed him. She was like, how do you know that? She says, because he came to my house after the whole thing happened with you guys. He told me that, you guys outed him. He told me that you guys can't, confront him about being the mole. And not Asher, but Oliver was like, no, he told us he was the mole. She said, yeah, I figured that because he was trying to record me to get me to say something incriminating, but I didn't. So then he says, and he asked her, so was it you and Frank that did it? She says, no, it wasn't them. So then, Tegan and Bonnie meet up in the hallway. So Bonnie got Oliver to sign on for her, her to be his attorney. But Tegan was not successful with Michaela because Michaela has another attorney. And then we see Solomon and Vic and another attorney in with Michaela. I'm like, oh, so when things get rough, you call Daddy, huh? Okay, Michaela. I mean, the way that you went off on him, I'm so surprised that he even picked up the phone to talk to you. But okay, Michaela, you got the man, wrapped around your finger already, and he's only been your dad for all of a few hours. But okay, hey, go for it. Knock yourself out. If it works, it works. I don't know if I would help Michaela, but he must feel real shitty about how he treated her as a kid. It is, he must feel shitty. Let's move on. All right, you guys. So Frank, he went over to Nate's house to catch up with Nate. I'm like, oh, really? This is interesting. Well, Cat actually caught Nate up on everything that's going on about Asher being dead and the kids being arrested. So Nate asked if he or Annalise did it, and he's like, I didn't do it, and then Annalise is not even around. So Frank says no, that this is Xavier, and he says, good luck proving not. Nate says that to Frank. And Frank says, well, Asher did know about, you killing Miller, so you're in this as deep as we are. So, yeah, Frank told Nate that Annalise is gone and they have absolutely no clue where she is. So then the bail hearing, and I've already recorded this and I went out of order, but we're going to go back over this again. So the bail hearing is being held. AUSA is saying that she's introducing a new person of interest, which is Oliver, and she's saying that bail should be denied because of how heinous the crime was. So she says each of them has a motive for killing Asher, as well as the murder weapon being left at the scene. Now, here's the thing. If these kids are in law school and they just commit a murder, why would someone who just committed murder be sloppy enough to leave the murder weapon beside the dead body? Doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? Okay. So then the AUSA also says that, what the motive is that Asher called the FBI before his death, and he told them that they had figured out that they knew that he was the mole. Now, he didn't really say who they were, so that should be kind of inadmissible as well, I would think, but I'm not a lawyer, so I don't really know. So each of the attorneys got up and spoke on behalf of their clients. And so Michaela and Connor were both denied bail. Oliver, he was, granted bail, and they dropped the case against him because the evidence that they have against him is pretty much nothing. Because again, that recording didn't prove anything. It didn't say who's who. It didn't say Michaela. It didn't say Connor, and it didn't say Oliver. So with him, he's clear. I think the only reason that they are keeping Michaela and Connor is because of the murder weapon and their fingerprints being on it, which that could be argued that, and which I think it was Michaela's lawyer who did say this, that, that's probably something that they live together, and it's something that they use all the time. Now, what you can't explain is, how did it go from their house to his apartment? That you can't explain. So I'm gonna give you that part. So then, outside of the court, Frank comes up to Bonnie and tells her that Nate knows nothing about Annalise, and so Frank still feels that he could know something. He could have helped Annalise, and he could have helped Laurel. And Bonnie says he didn't help Laurel. So then we see him outside in the parking garage as creepy Frank. And Tegan comes down and she says, oh, let me guess. Bonnie told you. So he says, so where's Laurel? She says, well, I don't know where Laurel is. And it ain't got nothing to do with me between what's going on between you and Laurel. So then we see the FBI. So they're talking to both Connor and Michaela separately, but the scenes are kind of together, so it's mimicking what they're saying to one. So for both the crimes with Michaela and Connor, they pull out a photo after photo. So they pull out a photo of Miller. They pull out a photo of Simon. They pull out one of Denver, Catherine Hapstall, Caleb Hapstall, Sinclair, Rebecca, and the one that started it all, Sam Keating. Now, I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, damn, they done really went far. So both Michaela and Connor called their bluff. So the thing is, what the FBI really wants is for those two to turn against one person, and the person that they say influenced them, and it's Annalise. So what they're doing is they're offering them immunity to testify against Annalise. And then what they want them to say is that Annalise ordered them to kill Sam. And I'm like, what the fuck? You're lying. I'm like, if Michaela and Connor sit down and do this shit, I'm going to reach through the TV screen and slap the shit out of both of they asses. I'm going to slap the black off Michaela, and I'm going to slap the stupid out of Connor. Like, I'm going to slap the black off Michaela and slap the stupid out of Connor. Because you two are the ones behind Sam's death. Annalise ain't killed not one motherfucking person. She ain't even killed a goddamn cockroach or a spider. But you ungrateful little bastards would, what? We gonna hold off right there and keep it pushing. All right, so Nate went over to Bonnie's house. Nate wants to know if Bonnie and Frank had anything to do with Asher's death because he still has some context down at the police station, and the police do know that Frank took Asher home that night, but they don't believe that there's any involvement there. I'm like, really? So y'all know Frank was the last person to possibly see him alive, but y'all don't have any kind of connection there? Okay. Whatever. So Nate, and Bon's like, I thought you said you were through with all of us. He says, no, I'm doing Annalise. And he says, I'm doing this because I just, he wants to do the right thing. And Bonnie says, well, if you want to do the right thing and be the hero, why don't you just turn yourself in? Because they started talking about this whole Miller situation again. She said, because I took your side over Miller's. And, Nate is still on this whole situation about Miller getting his dad killed. So then we see Michaela and Connor. So Michaela is talking to Solomon, and Connor is with his mom, dad, and his lawyer. So Michaela is asking Solomon, does he feel that she should take this immunity deal? And he says, I can't answer that question. She says, well, if you were my lawyer, what would you say? He says that he agrees with what her lawyer's telling her, that she needs to take this deal. And the deal is I think they'll serve 5. I think they have 5 years. I don't know if it's probation or in jail, whatever. He says, you know what, we can do that. We can get your, after 5 years. She's like, because I won't be able to become a lawyer. He said, we can get, we can get that taken care of. We can get your record expunged. You can come out here to LA where I am. We can get, he says, I know people and I can get you, to practice law. And I'm just like, are y'all? Yeah, I'm like, y'all are really okay with taking this deal, selling out to one person that for the last 5 fucking years has, well, I don't know what time frame. I don't know what the time frame is for them, but for us, for the last 5 damn years, has protected y'all ungrateful asses. Like, get the fuck, like, she has protected y'all asses to no avail. And again, like I said before, Annalise ain't killed a motherfucking person, a cockroach, a spider, a dog, a nothing. Annalise ain't killed nobody, but y'all have. You guys have killed people. She hasn't. Now, one person that is dead has Annalise's name, or, Annalise doesn't have anything to do with this. She didn't kill Sam. She didn't kill Rebecca. She didn't kill Lila. She didn't kill Sinclair. She didn't kill Denver. She didn't kill Miller. She didn't shoot Simon. Like, none of this stuff has Annalise on it. It's all you guys, because you guys have all been trying to cover up one thing, and that's basically Sam's fucking murder. But y'all are really sitting here thinking about selling Annalise out. So then we do see Annalise, and she's in Mexico. She got a text from the person that she's supposed to be meeting with, and she didn't meet up with that person. So that person told her, like, let's follow me. So Annalise is, following in behind her. So then we do find out that Michaela signed the deal, but she had to have a stipulation, and that stipulation was to protect Connor equally. So then, Michaela walks up to Connor, she gives him a hug. She says, and Connor says, you're welcome. She's like, what are you talking about? He says, I'm the reason that you got this deal. She's like, what are you talking about? They both made the same deal. They both made a stipulation that they both would get the same deal. So even if he signed, Michaela would get the same deal that he got. So Frank tells Bonnie about the kids, getting out, and she asks, if he did it, killing Asher. He says no. So then we see Annalisa. She's walking in the streets, and then there's a black car a black car, and I'm like, oh shit. And I looked at the man. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, that man looks familiar. And the reason why he looked familiar to me, because I watched General Hospital. He just did a stint on General Hospital. But then I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, a black car. And I'm like, it looked like it's unmarked. I'm like, oh shit. So Annalise took off running, because I think Annalise figured that out at the same time that I figured it out. This is a setup. And the cops arrested my girl Annalise. And who's the reason for Annalise getting arrested? Solomon fucking Vic. So Solomon set Annalise up from the get-go. You guys, this is going to be a bumpy 5 episodes. So let me know what you guys think about the episode. Let me know who you guys think killed Asher. Let me know how you guys feel about Michaela and Asher. I'm not Asher. Michaela and Connor selling out Annalise. Like, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Be sure to like this video. Leave your comments. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell notification button so you guys know when I drop anything else. Share this video. And until the next one, you guys, I will catch you guys later.